Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Let's go.
Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts. And as I continue my quest to find the strangest bet on DraftKings Sportsbook, AJ hooked me up with a good one today. We're going over to the rugby union section of DraftKings. We're going into the French top 14, is it?
Yep.
We're taking the Bordeaux Bagels over Claremont. Slight favorites. They're minus 115, I believe, to Claremont's minus 105.
Yep.
So it's a bit of a pick 'em.
Yep.
Rugby, if that's your thing. Shout out our boy Colton Strickler covering rugby with the Colorado Raptors here.
Yep.
He probably knows.
Yeah,
what's up
he'll
with
tell
that.
me that I'm an idiot in a couple minutes. That why am I making this?
What are you doing? The Bordeaux Bagels.
The Raptors? I think so.
Yeah, it is.
I know. Kale yelled at me for calling them the XOs the other day, so I'm pretty sure it's the Raptors. But that's our pick of the week. We're going with the Bordeaux Bagels. Go pick them. Go bet on bagels, because who doesn't love bagels?
Dude, there are people out there, I'm sure, but I don't want to know them. And if that's your food opinion, just keep it to yourself.
Indeed. Don't need to hear
Moving
that.
on.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't like bagels? Allie, we're going to need you to kick this motherfucker out of here.
No, I like bagels with meat
so-
and cheese in them.
Blaze,
Same. It's part of what makes a bagel great, man, is that you can do anything with it.
hold on. Blaze, do you know what Urban Dictionary is, or do your kids know what Urban
I know
Dictionary
what Urban Dictionary is. Thank you.
So if you were to go to Urban Dictionary and...
What are you going to say? Am I going to have to meet you?
No, you're fine. This is fine.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Do
it's
I
good.
trust
I
you?
promise this one is good. That
Allie
comes
just
later.
tried to trigger warning our entire pod, and Bruno just assured her, poorly, but I might add, that this is fine.
She didn't ask me. Let's go.
If you go to Urban Dictionary and you type in "mad 'cause bad," is it just bring up a picture of Jordan Bennington
100%. Is it him swinging his stick tonight? I hope they
swinging
update
his
it.
stick at Nazem Kadri's head?
Oh my goodness, that is brutal. He's usually so composed too, right? Like,
Do you
when you
need
think of
more
Jordan
water?
Bennington,
No,
I know
absolutely
it's
not.
awful.
Nope.
It's unreal.
I don't know how far we want to get into the minutia of what ended up coming out of this play, but
Don't you know? It was all about changing the momentum of the game.
uh-huh.
Right.
It was strategic, okay? When his team gets
Strategery.
down, all right, he throws these little bitch fits because it fires up the boys.
Yeah, it sure did.
Nothing makes you more amped up in life than seeing one of your teammates poop his pants in front of 15,000 strangers. Nothing. I know if Rudo ran through the middle of Pepsi Center and took a shit on center ice and then ran away, I know I would be ready to run through a wall for the man. I would be like, what a hero. Unbelievable. This is just, oh my God. I can only imagine that Jordan Bennington feels the same way, you know, or that his teammates feel the same way about Jordan Bennington's antics, where he's always fourth man in throwing punches and then gestures down at the goaltender that would probably beat the shit out of him.
That was
And then
the best.
fires a puck in his general direction and like swings a stick. You're just like, what is this?
Who was that scrum with where everybody on the Blues was it Compher that was back there?
Compher was in deep.
Yeah, and they had everybody on him, and then Bennington comes in as the tough guy.
Can we just break down this whole play, because the Avs scored a goal that was disallowed because Logan O'Connor was pushed into the
Yes.
Blues net.
Right,
Absolutely.
like so Jake Woolman just keeps pushing on O'Connor, and he's like, O'Connor's like stopped.
Yeah.
And he's like, he has stopped, and he's just standing there, and Woolman's just like a little robot.
Pushing you in.
He's just there he goes, like he's
Riding
like
the
Wally,
bicycle.
right?
Yeah,
Like
he's
he
riding
doesn't know any better, and he just knocks the net off the moorings, and then somehow Logan O'Connor gets jumped by all of the Blues. Where it was like, look, I know Logan O'Connor uses those big ass teeth of his to chatter away all the time, but in this case, like he really wasn't doing anything.
So not only does the goal get disallowed, there's a giant scrum that essentially nothing comes from,
Yeah.
followed by Jordan Bennington skating out and actively going to Nazem Kadri and swinging his stick at his head.
I mean, Yes, but like let's also keep like he missed by a solid several
He wasn't
feet.
trying to hit him, but he was trying to make a point.
He was making a point,
He was
not
trying to
trying
make
to
a point.
actually
Yeah,
hit him.
for
He
sure.
intended
And the
to
point was
miss.
that he was pooping his pants.
But at the same point, that's the type of thing that like your parents tell you when you're growing up, like one day you're gonna do that and accidentally actually hit someone in the fucking head.
Yeah, you're gonna take somebody's eye out.
Yeah.
With that.
Oh, you want to hear about how that happens?
Oh, God.
I got tripped on a breakaway once when I was younger, and I turned around and swang my stick just like that. I
Was
got
there-
ejected from the game? As I was going off the ice, I threw my stick into the crowd, and then I got out, thought it was going to be all right, and then my mom basically grounded me for a month for doing it.
I didn't know you and Eddie had so much in common. Getting ejected from games.
The idea that you had a breakaway is tremendous to me.
I mean, when that happened,
fast.
I literally ran up here, looked at Blais and Rudo, and was like, what? Why? How? What?
Unreal.
They said, oh, yeah, exactly. Then I ran and found AJ in the bar. AJ's like, oh, hey, Allie, I didn't even know you're here. And I'm like, please explain
An
to
important
me
part of the story.
what just happened.
Well, and the thing is, like, Jordan Binnington swings his stick near Kadri, and Kadri like skates up to him and is like,
What are you doing?
"The fuck, bro?" And somehow,
Even Buchnevich is standing there like
yeah, right.
he like looks at the bench and is like, "Is this guy stable?"
And somehow Kadri gets a misconduct out of
Yeah.
this. And I don't want to beat a dead horse because we've been doing this every game
Yeah.
because the reffing in the NHL is legitimately insanity.
Yeah.
But what are we doing?
Oh, if player safety comes out
Literally.
tomorrow,
Oh, I could totally see them
I
being
can see
like
it, right? Kadri.
$2,000 fine for Jordan Binnington for swinging his stick, and it would be like, oh, all right. Could you guys also amend the rule where goalies don't serve their own misconduct penalty? Because this feels like, boy, this exchange in which Jordan Binnington was both the aggressor and really the only one involved outside of some light trash talking from Kadri. And
Absolutely
Kadri gets
wild.
the gate, and you're like, what? Like, I'm sorry, but Jordan Binnington just gets to continue going on playing
Yep.
the game.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane.
What is the? I mean,
Imagine-
he should go after a dude every single. This is like when we were talking about every single zone entry on a power play. You should go down to one knee.
That's
Yeah.
exactly the tweet I
and then,
made.
and then, okay, so now this is it. Every goaltender should go after a dude at a scrum every time.
The modern
What
game
are
of
we
hockey
doing?
is always be on a knee, always push dudes into your own net, and always have the goaltender fight people.
like not fight people, not actually fight people. There's no accountability for him. He doesn't actually have to do anything.
And this is what gets me, is what this ends up being is a game misconduct that Kadri has to sit for 10 minutes. Not a game, sorry, a 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah.
And the Blues get to choose their guy.
Yeah.
So Clem
They're
Costin,
like, Clem Costin, you're the chosen one. Serve this pen. Clem Costin's like, what the fuck, dude?
The players
I'm
on his own
trying to
bench
earn
are
a
like,
job here.
who's that? Who's serving?
Like, could you, like, because Martin Kaut was the Colorado's chosen guy the
Yeah,
other
right,
couple games
right.
ago, and it's like, these guys are trying to earn a job.
Kadri, apparently, Tiffany said
Yeah.
that his quote was, "We exchanged some words. I got a stick swung at my face, ... I'm getting misconducts for just talking
That's
now."
I genuinely don't know what you do if you're Kadri after this game. I do not know.
I mean, if there was ever a blatant example of the NHL has had conversations with its officials this year and said, okay, you're going to treat Nazem Kadri away. And I have avoided any and all like anti-Colorado conspiracies.
But it's a Kadri-specific
It is
thing.
very, very obvious that Nazem Kadri is being treated differently by NHL referees this season than
Absolutely.
anybody else. I mean, Justin Falk stands over him and does the gentlemanly thing of waiting for him to stand up before he just starts throwing punches.
dude waiting with his gloves off over him.
This is the second time now that Nazem Kadri has had to answer the bell.
Yep.
Because 40 seconds into the team's first meeting, Braden Chen decided to do it for Justin Falk. By the way, Justin Falk played in that fucking game.
Yep.
He could have easily been an adult, handled his business himself, and this would have been done. But I guess he just decided, all right, well, I just hit him. Kadri's just like sitting here. I guess I'll just be like, hey, bitch, get up. We're fighting.
Kadri spent 15 minutes in the penalty box tonight because he took a hit from Justin Falk and Jordan Binnington swung a stick at him. Like
this was legitimately insane to watch. We were just like, nobody else in the league gets treated like this by officials. And
was Jesse saying that the officials should have to come on after games and explain?
I've been saying that for years.
love that idea.
A pool reporter from both teams media picks a pool reporter to go down and have a one-on-one with the officiating crew after every game, so that everything that they do, there is public accountability for it, so that they can say, hey, here's what we saw, here's why we did it. We were just worried about game management, blah, blah. We were worried about it getting out of hand. Colorado was housing them. It was 3-1 going into the third. Well, guess what? It's 3-1 going into the third. You lose your best faceoff guy and one of your better defensive centers.
Yep.
This is advantage St. Louis.
Yeah, for sure.
You game managed it in their favor, you dipshit. What are you doing?
all right.
That one was brutal.
It's insane.
It's brutal.
It's totally insane. And I don't know why our first segment was all about that nonsense. Because this was a dope hockey game.
We had to get it out of the way. We had to get it out of the way.
It was a dope hockey game in which the Avs kind of bullied a Blues team. And if Darcy Kemper could make a goddamn save, this would not have been close.
Yeah. Oh, that first goal is brutal.
Yeah, the first goal, I mean, look, the second goal doesn't bother me that much. The third, I mean, Tarasenko sniping one over your glove is like,
that was
come on,
a rocket.
Come on.
No one's stopping that.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Like, that's one where you're like, look, you can live with that shit.
Yeah.
But the first one, you're like, dude, you can't give goals away.
Yeah. All right, let me start with the first 10 minutes of the hockey game, because we can talk about this as a whole.
Wow, there was a goal in it. Let's keep betting on it.
Let it go. Let it go.
Sorry, Rudo's had to listen to me shout at the television every game when they show that dumbass graphic about betting on a goal in the first 10 minutes.
It's always like minus 160 or worse, because it happens every game.
All right, I bet $10 and I won 12. Look at me go.
As you've kind of already alluded to, when it comes to the hockey game, the Avs dunked on the Blues in the first 10 minutes of the game.
This wasn't particularly close.
No. They were crushing them in just about every metric except for putting pucks in the net, which they even did that in the first 10 minutes. It just didn't count.
True.
You know what? Bednar needs to have his guys back. That's bullshit from Bednar. That's bullshit from Bednar, and that's the kind of stuff that loses a locker room.
Yeah,
That's bullshit.
I need the Bednar with the Joker look on his face on the bench after all that
watching
happened.
him after when they came over and explained it to him, and he was like looking around like, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
I agree. If there is one thing I can put a knock on Bednar in, is he's never been aggressive when it comes to the postgame press conference.
Way too like I like the fact that he is just a very like chill, like
even keel type.
Even
of
keel.
As a coach,
I don't want to say chill because he's not a chill dude, but like even keeled.
Yeah,
they're not too much, not too high, not too low, which is weird because he used to like fight for a living. But
when he had flow,
well, and look at how far that got him. It got him to the ECHL. And
true enough. But it's weird. It's weird to me that publicly he doesn't fight more for his
surprised.
Guys. Like. We can dunk and make fun of Pete DeBoer and his little blue after game 2 in their series last year and how pathetic it was. But look, it had an impact. He fought for his guys publicly, and something happened. That dude should absolutely fight for his guys publicly more. Like I whine about this dude not. I whine about this dude not taking timeouts and stuff, but this is an actual thing that bothers me.
Well, and here, especially, you brought up the Pete DeBoer thing in the playoffs last year. If I'm an NHL franchise, I say, hey, if you think shit is unfair on the ice, you go out there, you say what you have to say. We'll pay the fine. Don't even worry about it.
Straight up.
Like,
it worked. Like, why isn't everybody out there after games like, oh man, the calls just didn't go our way?
Well,
what's up with the refereeing?
It's not even. It's not even all it's just like, well, you can't do certain things. Oh, well, you can't do this. Oh, well, you la-di-da-da-da. Like, stop with the aw shucks routine. Fight for your fucking players. Yeah. You're asking them to go out and fight for you every single night. Like this is a real problem that you can actually point to with Jared Bednar, and like maybe privately and on the bench during games and stuff, he totally has their back.
Yeah.
But publicly, we don't see any of that, and it's just like just once in 5 years of coaching these guys, the same core of guys too. Like go to the press after a game where you've gotten jobbed and just be like, look, we got jobbed. Our guys deserve better. They're out there fighting like hell, and they've got a third team out there that's against them on a night like this. That sucks for them. We deserve better. Fight for your guys.
All right.
What, you're making $1.5 million or whatever as a head coach? You can't pay a $20K fine? What are you worried about getting fired and losing your income? Pay the fine. Come on, man. Fight for your guys. Anytime anybody attacks Rudo on Twitter, I want to physically fight them. That's just part of leadership. You care about your people.
Just
you
wait.
go to bat for them, and to see him consistently not do that publicly, it sucks. Because you know that they really like him. You know that there's a connection there. You know that there's something there. But this definitely does suck to continuously see. If there was ever a 7-game stretch where the dude should come out swinging and be like, the NHL has got to get better officiating. The accountability has to be higher. All of this has to get better. We are out here trying to win games, and we don't understand the rules of the rules being applied in game right now. We deserve to know answers. We deserve better accountability from the league, and we deserve better from the officials that are going out and helping to decide games every night. How hard is that to say? And if he doesn't do that, it sucks for his players. How are you gonna ask these guys to go out and fight for you every single night, to do all the little things, to be committed to the details when you're getting screwed and you let it happen? Like, it's great that they won tonight. It's great. That's awesome. It's great that they played their best game in the season. It's great that they bullied a little bitch-ass Blues team. It's great that they ended that winning streak and they put them in their place, even missing some big-time players. That's great. That's all good and well. But you have a bigger problem here because you didn't get 6 games into the season at 2-4 because you didn't have some sort of coaching issue going on. And you can easily see it starting to build. And for a guy that won't go out there and just fight for your guys, this is one of the most basic tenets of leadership. Always have your dudes' backs.
Chat, we will have a makeshift brick wall set up at the DNVR bar for anyone who needs it. After that, go ahead and run through it whenever you're feeling ready. AJ, you brought up something where you're talking about this as for the first time in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get into the bedroom for the first time in 5 years, make sure you're looking good.
Really? After that masterpiece, you're going to go to that?
What? That's another masterpiece.
No,
What are we talking about
it's
here?
not.
Look, sometimes you got to keep it high and tight. Other times you got to have it flow like Jared Bednar. I wonder, does the carpet match the drapes for Jared Bednar? I wonder. So Jared, maybe he manscapes it to perfection down there. Maybe he doesn't need to say anything. Maybe his pubes will say it all.
The silver fox downstairs.
Let's go. Let's go. Manscaped has you covered. Get 20% off with code DNVR and get free shipping when you get the perfect package 4.0. They have amazing tools for everything you need, both above and below the belt. Look, if you're not willing to manscape after that AJ rant, I don't know what to tell you. Because
why are they correlated?
Look, they get you get them hyped up.
I agree. Why
and
is
I
that
put
correlated?
a lawnmower in their hands, all right? What are they going to do with
Oh, my God.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't want to ask follow-ups. I'm done.
Please, thank you. I appreciate that.
Good.
So when it comes down to it, all that Manscaped is really about is taking care of your meat. And if you're going to take care of your meat, it should be good meat.
All of our advertising is a penis joke.
So hit up Hassel Cattle Company. Get yourself some good meat, if you know what I'm saying. Hassel Cattle Company can give you 10% off when you use code DNVR10. We actually have the queen of cooking Hassel Cattle Company in the building tonight, just off screen. Nighthawk. I don't even have to sell it. Just go look at her Instagram, and she sells Hassel Cattle Company meat for us. It's ridiculous how good she makes it look. The meat's delicious. Had multiple people tell me the burger was incredible tonight. So go try it. Come here to the DNVR bar and get it here. Get it at home. HassleCattleCompany.com, 10% off when you use the DNVR10 code. And, of course, you missed a good one if you didn't come down to the DNVR bar tonight. Good crowd, good game, a lot of fun. Talked to a number of people. It was popping out here. That's all I'm saying. You got to get on down here for our watch-alongs, watch parties, I suppose. Our watch-alongs are digital. It's a fun time every night. Every night we're always having a blast here.
This is what people should pay Super Chats for me to have a large hook to pull Rudo off screen. But see, every time I have thrown something at him or anything like that, he uses it as a prop, and I regret it greatly.
He's quick on his feet.
You have to be crafty, all right?
Pay for lipstick?
Yeah.
No.
What I think our next watch along is it Saturday?
No.
I forget. It's not Saturday.
It's not Saturday.
Okay.
It's November 19th from my records.
All right.
Maybe there's one earlier.
We might have to slip one in before that.
Oh.
Yep. Just gonna let that lie.
Okay. Let's keep moving.
Anyway,
I got a show to do.
second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The Avs score a goal that doesn't count. And look, blatant offsides.
Yeah.
Not going to argue the call or anything.
Sampo had a goal taken away because he was being lazy.
Yep.
Seemed like karmic justice to me.
But how do you assess that when it comes to, because if that goal counts as an assist for Kaut, it's a goal for Ranta. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about guys that, let's say their spot in the lineup isn't super solidified,
Yeah.
is that a positive or a negative?
I mean, I think it's something that you remember happened. Say, okay, yeah, sure, this took place. This is a thing they accomplished. But really, you're still just looking at how are they playing.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, because if the goal that doesn't count is the only positive, then it's a lot tougher.
And to be fair, it wasn't, right? Like, I think we all talked about Ranta tonight. Clearly, significantly more physically engaged.
Yeah, I thought both guys
he
were a
was
lot
kind
better.
of up and down a little bit. You know, he has those tendencies where he wants to just hold on to the puck for too long. He's not that guy yet.
Sure.
But he likes to cruise around in the zone, go up high. It's a little scary watching him do that.
I mean, it's worked at every level below this for him, right? But the NHL's a bit of a different
little
animal.
bit different. I mean, that,
Yeah.
you know, a little poke check right there, and that's
A
they gone.
breakaway the other way. Yeah.
But I thought otherwise, like, he was a lot more aggressive. He did what he was supposed to do out there most of the night.
I really had no. I don't really have any bones about how either guy played tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really thought that most of the depth guys played pretty good games.
Agreed.
My biggest problem at forward was with McKinnon. My biggest problem on defense was like Eric Johnson, and that was pretty. Was pretty limited.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good.
He
Third
made
period.
some weird bad decisions in the first two periods.
Yeah,
but
well, I liked his third period a lot better. So it was like, all right, well, this is a complaint
Yeah.
that's kind of like mitigated now.
How about McDermott?
I really didn't have. I didn't.
Not much ice
he
time.
played like 7 minutes.
Yeah, and it's more bad luck for him than anything else that he was on the ice for a goal against because that backdoor play is on McDonald and not him.
100%. Yeah.
McDermott actually is covering a human, and McDonald is like drifting towards one.
That one you
and
gotta-
it was like, and it's like a broken play.
Yeah.
but it's on
Yeah.
you to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on in your coverage, and McDonald doesn't get back there. McDermott takes his guy away, like eliminates him as an option.
Well, it's one
And
of those
McDonald
things
doesn't, and there's a wide open guy on the back door,
where-
2 feet from your goalie.
and
Like,
with the player that
get back, dude.
the player that McDonald is, it's like, all right, the play gets broken.
Yeah.
And if it's like, oh, McDonald was 40 feet up the ice because he full sent it, you'd be like, well, that's Jacob McDonald. That's what you get. But he was in no man's land. He was half and half in between and just left the guy wide open on the back door.
And like that's a tough assignment.
It is.
You know, especially because like he's practicing at forward one day, he's playing defense another day. Like he's kind of moving around here. Like it's gonna be hard for him on the fly to just be really comfortable with a read on a broken play like that. It's more of a St. Louis did a good job on that play, and they got a bounce. You know, it's a broken play that they take advantage of really nicely.
Yeah.
And you can look at McDonald and be like, hey, you need to get back there. But like, that's also a puck that should be up and out.
Yep. And there was a poke check before, right? So you think that the Avs are going to recover it, and they don't. And that's where basically the change happens, and it's like the 180 behind the back pass across the ice, and McDonald is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can blame him for it, but it's still one of those things where he was thinking we're going up ice.
Well, like, your biggest problem there starts before that sequence, and you look at just that sequence, and you're like, okay, start pairing off blame here.
Yeah.
But your real problem there is that the sequence happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at that point, you triaged it poorly, and they scored on you.
Yeah.
And that's...
That's hockey.
Well, and it's cold-blooded because you're dominating.
Yeah.
You're up like 35-16 in shots or some crazy shit. You're not giving them quality chances, and then Braden Shen is literally by himself on the back door for a one-timer where it's like, okay, Darcy Kemper can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Darcy Kemper's not going to do anything about a Tarasenko missile like that.
Yeah,
it's,
that was a play where it's like, what happened with your fourth line out on the ice, and you give up an odd man rush the other way in a game with less than 10 minutes left and a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, well, and your fourth line had played really, really well up to that point.
They had.
And then, again, you lose coverage in transition.
Yep.
And when you lose coverage in transition and he's the guy that ends up with the puck in a step,
And-
you got a really big... you need a save, and then he puts a world-class shot by a goaltender, and you're like, okay, you could say I need a save, but that's also a wicked shot.
And even that one, even that play, Kadri gets a stick on a puck in the neutral zone, and the bounce just goes right to a Blues player, and you're like, okay, that's why you score 4.
And, like, that's some, like, hockey things.
Yep.
This is why you don't give free goals away on that soft shit in the first period to break
That goal was brutal.
Like, it's like, it's you see
Brutal.
it doesn't hit anything, it doesn't bounce, it doesn't do any funky puck things. It literally teleports through your body like Nightcrawler because you failed to make the play.
And it's the type of goal that I legitimately like. This is what drives people to insanity.
Yeah.
Because Kemper makes an all-world save on a odd man rush just before it to keep that puck out. And you think, all right, the Avs survived this mistake. You're good. And then that goes in.
Yeah.
After a 9 minutes and 30 seconds where the Avs outshot the Blues like 11-2 in that stretch of the hockey game.
Yeah.
And
and this was a great example of how a team is fighting it.
Yep.
Because they're dominating.
Yep.
They're dominating a team that has all the mojo and all the good feels, and everything in the world has broken St. Louis's way. They're scoring a bajillion goals, and they're 5-0. They're sitting at
5-0.
home. They're feeling sexy.
I think they're 14 plus coming into this.
You're a beat up team walking into their barn, especially because the Avs have struggled historically in St. Louis.
Yep.
Like everything's breaking their way, and then this goes their way, and you're just kind of like, oh my god, dude, what's going on here?
And
because you're playing great hockey, and they are beating you 1-0, and you're just like, damn it, man.
Credit,
like,
but credit
it's
to
quicksand.
Colorado here. Credit to Colorado, because I even tweeted it out, and I was like, that's the type of goal that just crushes your soul.
Yes.
And you fold up, and you just go away. But the Avs continued to dominate the entirety of the next 2 periods.
Especially after the start that the Avs had. It's easy enough
Yeah.
just to, fold it up like you said. And then the other thing, too, is like today in practice, you lose Rantanen.
Yeah, Rantanen participates in the first half of morning skate. Something happens, it's not diarrhea, it doesn't feel great, and he doesn't play.
As Chat said, per Bednar, it was lower body, not serious, so it doesn't sound too bad, but...
Like, it was serious enough that he didn't play.
Yeah.
So maybe the Toasted Rabs did just give him the shits.
Look, it's been a long time.
Look, he got Michael Jordan, okay? Somebody gave him the bad pizza last night.
It's been a long time since anyone on this team has had anything but chickpea pasta, so...
It's true. Can tell.
Dude.
Here,
We have
my
a-
drink's
Yeah,
gone.
we have like
We have quite a
100
few,
super chats.
and
We
they're
can-
all about Bennington pretty much. So
Fire
maybe
off.
we can get this.
Pop
on.
off on this
Yeah.
man. Pop off on him.
Do you want to read them or me?
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but Nas's words hurt equally. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you,
That's a pretty good
Colin.
one, Colin. Suspend Bennington 20 games. I'm not saying you
no.
should suspend him 20 games, but I do think the Department of Player Safety needs to take a legitimate look at a player who committed a play, even if it was intentionally missed, that has literally negative amounts to do with a hockey play.
This is where they need to have a league office that has a therapist that looks at that dude and is like, this dude has a history of like breaking down mid-game.
Yeah.
Let's get him talking about some of his rage problems and see if maybe we can keep him from doing something crazy.
I mean, I know it
Like
wasn't
that's what you do. Like, don't suspend him. Like, maybe get him some help, because when things go poorly for him, he tends to like emotionally melt down, and then because he's wearing a shitload of gear and he's got a giant stick, like he becomes like a one-man weapon out there where you're just like and when he takes a penalty, he doesn't have to serve it. He gets to stay there. So, maybe have a head doctor have a chat with him and be like, bro, chill out.
those waffle boards too. If you use that, those things can hurt.
They can throw a punch for sure. Handing the Blues their first loss feels good. Much love to DNVR. Thank you very much, Sasha.
It did feel good.
The thing that feels the best about handing the Blues their first loss is the Blues 100% deserve to lose the shit out of this game.
Well, and you could argue they deserve to lose the shit out of the last game that they played.
True.
Outside of an interpretation of Tyson Jost's feet, that was an AHL team that they barely beat. So they played most of an NHL team tonight and got their ass kicked.
Yep.
The scoreboard was deceiving.
They were missing some key pieces too, though.
Sure, but you can't play that game tonight.
No, you can't. Because Brandon's out.
Ryan O'Reilly.
Taves is out.
Gerard Taves.
Yeah. It's equal.
Half of
You're right.
Colorado's
You're
top
right.
four on defense did not play in the
My
game.
bad.
So it's like tonight, like they were on even footing in that regard. The last time that they played, they weren't.
Oh no, not
and
even
you
close.
look at it, and it's like, okay, well, they've played one predominantly NHL game against each other, and the Avs kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah, and they only have one more game in the regular season this year with them.
Yeah, and it's in like April?
Yeah, it's
April. Oh my god.
Long ways away.
Nerf gun fun for Allie to shoot Rudo. All right.
Yeah, I like that fun.
I've got a bunch of Nerf guns, by the way.
If I can catch the bullet, though, what do I win?
Nothing.
You caught the bullet.
Yeah.
You get badass points. We make a highlight and we put some graphics on it. And we turn it into a Matrix-style clip in your favor. Like,
better save than Jordan Binnington made all night.
Yeah,
that's amazing, dude.
All right, next one.
If you want to catch bullets with your own hands.
It has to feel bad to be the guy who serves misconduct penalties for the goalie.
Clint Costin's got to be the angriest guy in St. Louis tonight. Like, brutal. This is such bullshit.
Yeah, I got no answer for
Showed
you,
up
bud.
on the scoreboard.
Okay, this one.
This one will get you banned from Twitter for inciting violence, but thank you. Let's go Avs 33.
Okay.
Murray's best game, McCarbo, G, Taves, EJ, Murray, top 6, and JJ 7th looks better and better as McCarr, and hopefully G start to pick it up. Also, 13 high danger chances for 0 high danger chances against.
That's a lot to break down right there.
I don't know how you could call the Braden Shen goal not a high danger.
Yeah, literal backdoor wide open net.
We'll see. I haven't taken a deep look at the numbers yet. I will do that because I'm writing post-game and grades tonight, so
We're busy folks tonight.
You guys have to put up with a lot of me tonight.
Chad said, "Hell yeah, I'll take that B-Day win." Wanted to say happy birthday
Shout out
to you,
to Chad.
And
I assume that's the guy who came out from Houston, but I don't actually know.
No, I think his name was Michael.
Okay, lots of
but
B
shout out to Michael.
Lots of
who
B
came
days this weekend.
To
I
the
guess,
bar, said it was a bucket list moment. Wanted to be
Very
here.
cool.
Yep.
Such a fun game for that too. So happy birthday to you. And then we got Zach O'Donnell saying, "If I make a trip out to Denver, will you allow me in the bar?"
Well, yeah, we don't have security.
Why wouldn't?
Well, first,
we?
is there caveats to this?
The bar, that's a bigger question.
I'm about to find out Zach O'Donnell is 12.
No.
We let Nighthawk in. She's wearing Blues stuff
Yo,
right
there
now.
was a bunch of Blues people here tonight.
Yeah.
I told you, we let
hated it.
one in and they multiplied.
I hated it. I booed every time they scored. Anyways, Zach,
Way to go.
you aren't allowed to turn into different people when
No,
you're
if
here
you can
in
turn into
person.
different people in person, you are allowed.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes, you would
Straight
be
up, if
allowed.
you've got the Mystique power, you're good, man. I want to see that shit in person.
Be whoever you want to be at the DNVR bar.
That is it. That's all I got
All
right
right.
now.
All right.
Let's continue on here. Let's get to our king of the game, JT Compher. He scores 2 goals on the night. The man shows up in a
He had
game.
5 shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Showed up.
What is happening?
Leads the Avs
Like,
in goals.
The most predictable thing in the world was that JT Compher was going to bounce back this year.
But at this
But
rate
to
of speed,
this level
yeah.
at the start of the year is kind of like, all right, we get it. You're getting it out
After
of
the
your
reading
system.
you guys had, though, it was, a little iffy.
Yeah, there was some blockages.
Yeah.
Blockages in the cards.
Well, that was the thing, though, is that there were blockages, and it was either going to be a he gets past the blockages or he plays through it. The tarot cards told the truth. It just put it on JT to figure it out.
True.
In
And
the
he's
same
figured
way
it out.
they put it on New Hook and Ranta to, are you going to play with confidence or are you going to play lacking confidence and not be any good? And right now we know how that's gone.
Yeah, New Hook should be playing with the Avs.
Oh,
I'll take it back. I don't want to.
Not going there.
okay.
We've got a whole show to do tomorrow.
True.
But I've got this funny tingling sensation that
He coming.
it won't be long.
Yeah, he coming.
And then it won't be a conversation again.
Compher, his first goal gets the Avs back to tied at the end of the first period. A beautiful tip play. A lot of people in the chat, I've seen you talking about Ryan Murray. He gets the assist on that goal. Has a good night.
Murray had 2 assists.
Yeah.
Boom. That
Looking
easy.
good.
And I had Ryan Murray's best game as an Av 2 nights ago. I think he was still better 2 nights ago than he
Really?
was tonight. But the 2 assists, like, pretty good. Tells you that he had another solid night. It's hard to have a bad night with 2 assists.
It is.
When you're like a third pairing-ish
Yeah,
guy,
for sure.
you know, like if you're a top pairing guy and you're getting lit up and you're falling your way to points, sometimes that happens. But for a guy like
Well,
Ryan Murray, for him to have 2 assists, I'm not going to sit
And-
here and say it was a bad
and
game. or
Ryan
anything.
Murray
I
spent-
just think he was more noticeable 2 nights ago when there were 4 guys and they were pressing and they were desperate, and he was forced to play in a way that.
The up-tempo that you expect from him.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
he was forced to play in a way that really taps into some of the things that made him an intriguing prospect when he was younger.
Yeah.
And then he got to the NHL, and I am 1,000% convinced it got coached out of him.
Yeah.
And that they told him, we need you to play safe. We need you to play in all situations. So we need you to take some of this out of your game. And his career has suffered for it because when you see him leaning into his base
Cut it
instincts
loose a
as
little bit,
as an
yeah.
offensively, you see him jumping into
Well,
plays. You see him making more creative plays than watch me rim this puck or watch me just blindly throw this near the net. I think Ryan Murray might be discovering that he has leeway in Colorado that he's never had in his NHL career before, and I'm curious to see what that draws out of his game a little bit because it was a slow start. He's had 2 really good games in a row, so you're not gonna go crazy over 2 games, but you're starting to see like here's the upside of it. How often can he tap into it?
Here's the thing with Murray for me is we saw him, as you mentioned, in the 4 defenseman situation where he had to play up and aggressive a little bit. Tonight, his 2 main pairing mates were Curtis McDermott and Jack Johnson. 2 pairings mates where he is clearly the puck mover with that guy.
Yeah.
So it's easy for him to get into a situation, to lean into those instincts, as you called it, a little bit easier. Super chat from Heretic here. He says, Hart can't be in hockey right now. I want to drop in and support you guys. Here's a little bit of money. Loved ya. Appreciate it, Heretic. Don't give us money if you got shit going on with your life.
One of our
you know.
dudes.
We're here
Yeah.
for you.
Big hearts.
And this goes for like anyone in the
Literally.
chat. Everyone here, our DMs are always open. If you want to talk about whatever, we will hit you up. We'll hit you back on whatever you want to talk about. So if you need something, feel free to hit us up. Put it that way. Okay. Continuing on, we talked about Murray. Compher's second goal finally breaks the Avs power play out of whatever you want to call it that it was in.
Not really. I don't think just because they scored on their 5th attempt, they've broken out of it.
The power play still has problems, but a puck went in the net.
Well,
Like,
and the puck went in net with purpose. You know, it wasn't like a puck found its way.
it was
in
an
or a
effective
broken
play that
like-
resulted in a goal.
They
It's the
were
first time that
doing
they-
something, and this is also you notice. I do appreciate. I kind of went off on Bednar earlier, but I do appreciate him listening to the pod and them making the adjustment on the zone entry to skate it in deep because I got your back, dog. appreciate. I
I was like,
appreciate
did
the
I
silent
miss
nod.
it? So, what?
No, but they set up on the power play, and they had good movement with the puck,
well, and-
and they got the puck to the center of the ice and got a shot from there.
Tonight, I thought they did a much better job of setting up, and then their
Yeah.
problems were executing from there. And this is where my problem was with McKinnon, is that he was only trying to do cute shit.
Yeah.
Instead of making an easy, simple, safe play, he's throwing blind backhands left and right in the defensive zone, on the power play,
Yep.
just throwing possessions away and then just watching as the play goes the other direction. This was one of those lazy, bad habits, low-effort games from McKinnon. You get like 5 to 8 of them every year where you're just like, ugh. This is supposed to be the best player in the world? No.
As they say in the business, totemo kawaii desu.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I have no clue what you just said.
AJ tried to spell cute with a K, an E, and a W today.
Well, it was because I didn't want people to say it like cute. It was like cute.
Yeah. you're like a quarter step just away from using kawaii at that point. You
know
might as
what?
well just commit to the weeb.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't hate myself.
But I agree. At the end of the night,
Jake is super excited about this.
the line that didn't get it done for the Avs was their top line.
Yeah.
McKinnon and Landeskog, granted, sans Rantanen, but Burakovsky needs to finish a goal.
Yeah, he needs to beat a goaltender, man. Beat a goaltender. You had an empty net.
Yeah, he didn't need to beat a goaltender.
Let's
He
just
needs to
start
hit a
with,
net.
like, a good shot.
Like, we've seen him put some shots on goal in transition where you're like, all right, well, we've also seen him score on these a bunch, so you don't mind that so much. But it's like, just beat a goalie, bro. And that is a guy that needs something good to happen to him.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to accidentally blow somebody up in the neutral zone. He needs to, scoring into an empty net would have helped. Like, that's a guy that just needs something good to happen for him.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna go downhill from there. It's snowball gets rolling and then Berkey's back,
Yep.
It's just a matter of how long does it take?
Yep.
So, like, this is a guy that has shown too well in his Colorado career for you to think that this is just going to continue. So it's when something good happens for him, he gets that confidence rolling a little bit. He's going to be off and running, and you'll be like, all right, you're good. You just need it to happen. It's important for it to happen.
It is desperately so. I do want to get into a little bit more of this, but we do have Chevalier Mortgage. Both Mike and Virginia have been doing it for 15 years. Right now, the housing market is legitimately insane in Colorado. I don't know if y'all know. I'm looking to buy a house pretty soon. It's outrageous. It's
on fire.
It is legitimately outrageous.
Can I live in your basement?
If we have to buy the house first.
Look,
So
let's get a move on.
at that point, I'm fine. You and Z want to live in the basement? Rex and Kirby can be best buds. I'm fine with it.
Yo, Rex and Kirby as best buds would be cute.
That would be
That
so
would be
cute.
That would be cute. That's true.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a while, I think, for us. But if you want to navigate these waters, hit up Chevalier Mortgage. Both Mike and Virginia have been doing it for a very long time. And the key picture here is Mike is a certified financial planner. So this isn't just a dude trying to get in and say like, oh, you got to buy right now. You got to buy right now. Do this, do that, do the other thing. No, Mike will take a look at your picture, find the right plan for you, find the right home loan for you so you understand where you stand in the market and you can make the correct decision. That's what makes Chevalier Mortgage great. They're super awesome. You can hit them up at dnvrmortgage.com or, of course, call Virginia directly at a number that I'm going to find in a second. But if you go to DNVR Mortgage, you get a free consultation and you get a chance to win free DNVR merch. So go there. Do it that way. It's the best way. You can get a free shirt from us. You can get the talk with them with completely free words. Call Virginia directly at 303-257-6578 if you want a phone call to them. Michael Chevalier, NMLS 1931006. Virginia Chevalier, NMLS 1910631.
Hold on.
I'll tell you what, financial planning on that is huge because when we bought our first house, what we got approved for was ridiculous. And when I sat down and actually started looking at it, I was like, sweet, we'll have a house, but we won't be able to eat or buy clothes or gas or have a car. So cool.
But you'll have a place to lay naked and hungry.
Very true.
Vaguely Sober here said, mine was the first super chat of the night and it got ignored. Thanks. If you, so I just went back to look. If you send a super chat before we're actually like live, they don't come up on my end, so I didn't see them. I'm sorry, Vaguely Sober. Thank you.
Sorry,
for the super
Vaguely
chat.
Sober. We love you the same.
But they just saw me. I went all the way up,
Yeah.
and there is no.
Wait till we're
there's no
live to
super
send us your
chat.
money, please.
Dr. Dub's in the house for sure.
That's definitely what he said. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. He sends that every win. So, yeah.
Anyway, next important question that we have, because he said the Virgin House or the Chad Yacht.
Oh God,
Which one would we have?
I'd hate both of those.
I'm going to be honest. Like, we have the
Oh, hey,
DNVR.
Bob is finally playing.
It took 18 plays.
Yeah, we're like third segment.
So we have the concept of the DNVR yacht.
yeah,
And it's fun, and I would love to raise $22 million in super chats, but like in reality, there's a very real world where the DNVR mansion is a real thing.
oh, that would be
And
awesome.
like 6 people from DNVR just live together.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Is that still the Virgin House?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feels. I mean, it's not like.
Vaguely Sober said it
not,
said
but,
play
yeah.
Gloria.
Got him. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm vibing to Hanson.
yeah,
now,
we're vibing out at
We
this
do
point.
have 2 more super
All right,
chats.
hit him. Hit the super chats first. Jordan Bennington is the kid who only wore tap-out shirts in elementary school. That was like high school for me, but yeah, I feel you 100%.
That one is good.
Next, for the development of the no bagel hate policy upon becoming DNVR member. Bold and underlined, no fine print.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
indeed.
no exceptions. There will be no bagel hate. And if you say bagel, fuck you.
That's Henry.
Do not say
Hanks.
bagel.
He says bagel.
Bagel is objectively wrong.
He says bagel.
It's not correct.
Gotta
How
shave
do you
that
even
dude's
get there?
head. You just can't read.
No, he says that's how they say it in Montana because they say bag.
Yeah,
so
that's
then it's bagel.
not helping him.
That's not. He's lying.
All right, so
That's
Montana
literally how he
can't
says
really
it.
lie.
He's tried to correct himself though. He literally tries to like every time he says a word like wrong, like bag. He's like, oh no, bag. He literally sits there trying to like teach himself.
Only service dogs at the bar right now. Sorry to break that to you, but love how DNVR pods are part of my game day routine. Can't watch a game without you all. Appreciate you tuning in. That's us. We're here after every game, chatting with you. That's the whole plan.
Damn Hanson rocks.
Oh God, calm down.
I disagree with that take.
Just imagine liking something for once in your life.
Can't do it. Fruta can hate on ribs, and people are allowed to hate on bagels. I would agree with a must-hate pickles like AJ Claus. All right, we're not hating pickles here.
Yeah,
Slow
pickles
down.
are so good.
So disgusting.
Love pickles.
McKinnon has to cancel his
fucking
DNVR
filthy.
membership now.
Why?
Well, we
I
already
guess
gave-
he doesn't like
He has a
bagels.
Yeah,
free one.
he could have one for free anytime he
yeah,
wants.
he already has a free one, so it's fine.
Okay, there you go.
Anthony here said my 12-year-old son says milk instead of milk.
Milk is better than
Milk.
malk.
Send him
so-
back.
Oh, malk. I don't know.
Malk's an
hated
actual
that.
product.
Send him back. Get a refund.
Ryan B said Rudo and AJ weren't tweeting in the third, and I almost didn't know what to do.
So it's when we're at the bar, it's hard to like tweet and be at the bar and like
Yeah.
pay close attention to the game and like be present in things that are going. Like I try and fire off a few tweets because if I just go dark during a game, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
But it can be a little
it's
can
all
be a
over
little
the place
much,
at times. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're down like during the second period, I stood down by the bar the entire second period and just chatted with people.
Yep.
So it's like not a lot of tweeting there. And then third period, I came back up here and then I was stressing.
Alex said, since when does Montana have an accent? Tiffany said it's a Midwestern thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we
All,
can
like,
have Henry on the show. I'm
A
telling you.
lot
that's
of the
just how he
northern
talks.
states have that like long A weird thing going on.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, how about some people say rum instead of room? I've heard that.
No
My
one
roommate
says
said-
that.
Yes,
That's
my
made
roommate
up.
in college would say, "Oh, can we go back to the rum?" And I'd be
Nah,
like, "What?"
Your roommate was messing with you.
You're right. The entire year, she played that bit super well.
I would absolutely do something like that. Like just somebody like that I'm never gonna see again in life. Just do something totally random, and just like run with it for a whole year, and then just be like, all right, have a nice life, and forever be that person in their stories.
The first time I took my wife back to Minnesota to International Falls, I was with my family, and it comes right back when you're around people. My wife just stared at me and was like, who the hell are you?
My wife's the same way. She's from Nebraska but has a ton of family from Michigan.
Yeah.
And they go back and it's like instantly they're talking like that again, and I'm like, what?
Shout out to Ralph here saying his day is
I
starting
saw a
in
couple
Germany.
of you Europeans with your 5:30, 6 a.m.
Wow.
nonsense. You're animals. Absolute animals.
That's awesome.
Adam here really wants me to tell you guys that
Milk has vitamin R.
That's from The Simpsons.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm glad one of us here watches it to pick up those references.
How do you guys pronounce this word?
Yeah, silent T is pretty common in
Mountains.
Colorado.
Mountains, I take the T out.
silent T is a Colorado,
Mountains.
and then every time I say Toronto, people look at me funny.
Toronto.
Yeah.
With the hard T.
Yeah.
Just take the T's out of that one.
Yeah.
Orana. Orana.
I'm in Toronto. We are up in Toronto.
I have Eric and Sasha saying, one, my roommate was an alcoholic, my roommate was wrong.
Both could be true for all I know.
She never missed an 8 a.m., but she did enjoy drinking. So
Well, you know what?
know?
Nothing wrong with going to your 8 a.m.s drunk, okay? Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, for all the nonsense Kadri got involved in this game, he scored a goal.
That was that's how you respond, right?
Yep.
Like Justin Falk steps to you, you fight Justin Falk, you go about your business, you score a big time goal to make it 3-1 late in the set, like going into the third. Like, you really put them behind the 8 ball there. And I think it's a minor concern that they cannot have a clean third period when they have a lead, but
It was not good.
they've also only won 3 games, so it's not like they've done tons of this so far.
Fair.
But they haven't had a clean third period yet. You know, they've blown. You know, they had a 4-1 lead against Chicago that got whittled all the way down to, well, I guess 4-2. And then
Yeah, it wasn't so bad.
and then Tampa, well, and then like the end of that game though was
Tampa
scores,
came back twice.
Yeah, scores 2 third period goals to erase 1 goal leads. They get 2 goals on you in this period. You know, if you don't get that 4th goal, if you don't respond to that, to the Shen goal immediately and make it 4-2, like, you're sitting there at a 3-3 game wondering what the hell happened. So, like, this was imperfect, but it's also why I'm like, you can't give free goals. Because goals 2 and 3 are legit good hockey plays.
They
From
are.
like
Yeah.
good players. Like, this
It's-
wasn't fluky nonsense.
It's hard
that
to fault
beats you.
those. You're staring at the first goal of the game going, that goal can't go in.
Yeah, you just cannot give goals away like that, and it's, I don't know. It's tough. So I'm a little iffy on, like, hey, this third period, but to your original point that Kadri, like, beats him where it counts, right? Like,
Yep.
Scores the third goal, and knowing how it all played out, he should have just stopped in front of Binnington and just, like, stared him down. But at least earn your misconduct at that point.
I want to get to this super chat that asked how was McDonald. I also want to get into Cale Makar as he ended up scoring what was
Love
the game-winning
McDonald.
goal.
Missed an empty net.
Chat, also, I swear I went to the bathroom before the show, but
Rudo.
I can't help my body, all right?
Stop
It's
drinking
biology.
during the show, moron.
I guess I should, probably.
Okay, we have some
Maybe you
more
have an
people
infection.
asking questions on how you pronounce things, so we can get to that while Rudo does what he has
I don't want
to
to
do.
get into this Colorado. My high school sweetheart's family was obsessed with this conversation, and I'm so sick of it. I don't ever want to hear it again.
So how do you say it?
It doesn't matter. A bunch of fucking people from Virginia arguing over how to say it, though. It's like, just shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know that.
These folks, it just doesn't matter. People are gonna say it how they're gonna say it.
Yeah,
I don't
everyone
care.
says things differently.
Yeah,
It's all right.
I don't care.
What about Pueblo?
What?
How do you say Pueblo?
Pueblo?
Yeah,
Pueblo?
Pueblo.
I didn't realize there were other ways to say it.
I don't know. That's also going on in the comments.
All right. Anyway, like Jacob McDonald tonight, like this, it's a tough assignment to
Absolutely.
jump in and to do what he's doing in the best league in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you think like Alex Newhook and Shane Bowers and, whatever. Who pick an Eagle. Like, those guys are down there getting played to pay forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things, right, where it was need at the last minute, and
Yeah.
he filled in, and, like, he doesn't know the nuances of playing forward.
Well, and, like, he played a lot of forward with the Eagles a couple years ago.
Yeah, but...
And so, like, it showed that, like, hey, he can do it.
Sure.
He's a defenseman by trade.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're just the jump from, like, hey, he scored a bunch of goals as a forward in the AHL, too. Go handle defensive assignments and responsibilities on the wing in the NHL.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that. That's a tough ask. It's
sure.
also a big part of his value because apparently they just won't do it with Curtis McDermott. If you're thinking anything, like, these guys should swap because Curtis McDermott is playing 7 minutes on defense. Give him the same 7 minutes, but at forward, and let him just go hit somebody.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything defensively. He's not accomplishing anything.
No.
He's watching goals go in. He's not laying the wood. He's not playing with a physical presence. He's not doing shit.
Yeah.
So swap them because at least look, Jacob McDonald is a wild man. So what? Let him go be a wild man.
Yeah.
That's why you're paying Jack Johnson, is to tether somebody to him.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson's got to be somebody's anchor. It might as well be McDonald's. So I would say swap them. I didn't really have a huge problem from McDonald, but missed an empty net, and then I think blew an assignment on the goal on Shen on the back door. We talked about it. It's a tough ask, tough assignment. But you have a job to do, bro.
Yep.
I also think it showcases his value because he can be literally your 13th forward and your 7th defenseman. He should always be on your NHL roster for the ability to do this.
I love that idea of swapping them, though. That would have been, I think, a better way to handle what happened.
Well, and like you just wonder because you understand that Bednar is going to give he's not going to give them the leash that we would give guys.
Yeah.
He's going to give them a longer life than that to prove it.
sure.
Yeah.
Something about guys who have 100 games played. They've got to prove that they can't play, while prospects have to prove they can.
Yep.
And it's just frustrating to watch. But
Well, it's because prospects, a lot of those prospects have a lot higher ceiling than what you're seeing with the guys that have played 100 games.
Right,
You kind of know what they are.
You look at the Rantas and the Couts, and you're like, theoretically, like, these guys should be, whatever. We don't need to tackle this for the 4,000th time. But it's especially because next week we've only got 2 games.
We're going to be tackling it next week.
There's going to be a lot of just talking about it.
Well, we'll have other minds to collaborate with next week. So.
It's true. How much do we want to tease that?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
I don't even know. P.S. We hired people, and they all start next
You
week.
already said that. You already said that
I
earlier
know
this week,
that they know
so.
that.
Excitement. I think people can put it together,
So
but who knows?
anyway, I would swap them, but I also understand Bednar's going to like play this out on defense. He's got to be like hard convinced that that McDermott can't help on defense. And I'm not sure what the hell he's waiting for,
Yeah.
but
Pretty sure it's the evidence is there.
I mean, here's the disconnect for me. After not this game, but the last game before that, Bednar basically said, look, he's the type of dude that we're going to play when we have a 2-goal lead in a hockey game. Well, the Avs got a 2-goal lead in this hockey game. McDermott still ended up sub 8 minutes on the night.
yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying just swap him. Like, you're going to give him 8 minutes of ice time. Put him at forward where mistakes are not going to hurt you nearly as badly.
Yep.
And put J-Mac on defense where you're, you know what he is. You understand that you're getting a wild horse here that you can't break.
Yeah.
But you can at least manage it.
Yeah.
With McDermott, like, what are you getting defensively? In the current alignment, what are you getting? Because you didn't get much tonight, so you swap them, and it's like, okay, well, what are you getting there? We don't know.
At worst, the
Yellow.
same, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At worst, the same.
Yeah.
So, I just don't know. I also think, look, Gerard and Taves are both going to be back real soon.
Change things real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like
The landscape changes back there real quick.
we're talking about a much tougher decision about like Jack Johnson or Ryan Murray.
Yeah.
And Ryan Murray might have turned it on just at the right time.
To stay in that lineup.
Well, it looked like Jack Johnson had pretty clearly, like in the coach's mind,
Yeah.
taken over.
Yeah.
Now, the last couple games from Murray, you're kind of like, well,
Maybe not.
Let's see, because like
We are paying that guy $2 million.
Taves is a full participant in practice yesterday.
Yep.
Full go. It's not going to be much longer. It might be Minnesota. They play without him, and then they have 3 days off because they play Saturday. They don't play again till the following Wednesday.
Yeah, they get
so
some
they can give
time.
they can give both of those guys like just that extra time where it's like there's no need to rush it back because they do have the time because they play. They've got those 3 days off. They play Columbus, and then they have 2 days off. They go to Columbus. They have 3 days off again. So it's like they've got time here with these injured guys, but there's going to be some tough decisions.
So let me continue down the defensive path here. Maybe you talked about this while I was at the bathroom, but is Cale Makar back on top?
No, not. I certainly don't think like this was a better Cale Makar game, but you could also see he's fighting his way through problems, which is a much better sign than a guy just not trying things because he's lacking confidence.
I would say the first 2 periods it felt like he was fighting through, but that third period, all of a sudden things started happening.
I mean, I asked you, it was 8 minutes to go after the third, and I said, is he back? Because he was just dominating shifts.
Yeah.
He was just getting pucks, and he was dancing around people, and he was doing different things. And it was like, okay, this is the Cale Makar that takes over games. And he was the one, by the way, who scored the disallowed goal before the O'Connor stuff.
Yes, the other disallowed
Yeah,
goal.
my bad. Wow, the 3 goals called back against St. Louis so far this year. That's
Pretty
That's
rough.
true.
wow, that's
I mean,
wild to think about.
that defensive pairing, 41 games into the season,
Yeah.
is going to be a problem
I mean,
for
you-
other
well,
clubs. I mean, it's already a problem, but it's going to be a bigger
Taves
problem.
is looking like I got Wally
Who am I
pipped.
partnered with now?
Yeah, he's like I had a solid job next to Cale
There's
Makar on the
there's no
top
way you're
pairing.
splitting that pairing.
You can't.
There's
I would say
absolutely no way.
you can't, and then this coaching staff
Will,
will do it.
yeah.
Oh, watch us. We'll do it.
Yeah, straight. Oh yeah, AJ. Especially right
Let's
after
push
I,
the blender.
especially right after I spent 10 minutes railing against Jared Bednar's handling of his players. It really like you shouldn't break it up because they're dominating right now.
Oh, the chemistry is unreal.
Even with Makar like struggling his
Yeah.
way through, like they dominated tonight.
Yeah.
Genuinely, Bowen Byram gets the puck, and he looks like a dude who's played 300 NHL games.
Bowen Byram's confidence right now is it is so interesting to see a dominant Cale Makar that we've seen in the last few years, but he's so humble, he's so quiet about it,
Yeah.
right? Like he lets his game do the talking, and then Bowen Byram
Is in people's
lets his
faces.
game
Let's go.
do the talking and then follows it up by emotionally just burying them. Just body bagging dudes left and right. Like James Neal is like, I've had an awesome career. Who the hell is this teenager chirping at me and won't leave me alone? Why is this dude like chasing me around, talking shit to me?
Well, Neil gave him a little elbow.
Yeah,
going
well,
through
like,
the crease
it's
there.
It's what James
right?
Neal does.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Like, he's always been a prick like that, and he's really effective when he plays that way. And Bowen Byram's just like, buddy, who are you old bitch? He's like, I'm the future of the NHL. Step down.
To steal a phrase from you, AJ, the first thing in the room for Bowen Byram is his dick.
Yo, straight up.
And the second thing in the room for Bo Byram is his mouth.
Yeah.
And a couple minutes later, the rest of him shows up.
I'll tell you what, though, that
Okay.
pairing is like unreal too, because like you watch it, Makar's back there, he has his first look up the boards, covered, looks over, Byram's halfway, like at
Yeah.
the red line, basically passing it up there, and then he's skating into the zone.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's going to be a big problem for
Well,
other
like,
clubs.
and you can
to handle
see,
this.
you see the way that when they are playing well, when the Avs are playing well, and they're playing at their pace, they tax teams because they don't let up through the neutral zone.
Yep.
They constantly are forcing teams to play on their heels. When you play on your toes, you're more aggressive.
Yep.
It's just easier to get going. And the Avs are just, when they're in attack mode, it's
Yeah.
all toes all the
Oh,
time.
their transition
it's just
game is-
forward, go, attack. And we're talking like with Jack Johnson and Curtis McDermott back there, they were playing like this tonight. You get Sam Girard and Devon Taves into that group, it doesn't really matter who that sixth guy is. Like, I think they're going to be able to like casually work Devon Taves back into the regular season. A guy who finished like 9th in Norris Trophy voting last year. They're going to just like, all right,
Spend
come
a
back
couple
at,
games on the third
like,
pair.
Come
It's
back at your
fine. Yeah.
pace because we have like fallen our way into a top pairing that has like what 130 combined NHL games. What the shit? Like nobody in the NHL has this happening for them.
No.
Like this is like defensively, this is like the true dawn of a golden era for Colorado's defense. This should be the beginning of a dominant era for them in that regard. At forward, it's a mess. There are a lot of question marks. There's a lot of dudes that have to live up to potential. There's a lot of jobs that need to be won. There's all kinds of stuff that needs to happen here,
sure.
okay? But defensively, this is getting nasty in a hurry.
I have no counter argument for
When
that.
Devon Taves can casually come back and be like, all right, I hear you guys need a little bit of help back here. And you're like, man, yeah, I mean,
it's not that we
just
need
kicked the
help.
shit out of the Blues. You know, like it's definitely, they are definitely, like this is like you see the plan. Like on draft day, there's a plan. And you can always see it. It's super easy to see 4 years into the future. But it almost never goes that way, except for this particular
When
plan.
it does.
You're looking at it, and you're like, on draft day in 2019, they had Cale Makar, they had Connor Timmins, they had Sam Girard. They were feeling good. They were feeling sexy. They liked their future. All right, they wanted to draft Kirby Dach. All right, Chicago takes Kirby Dach. All right, well, we'll just shut up and take Bowen Byram and not worry about it. They do that, and it changes history. The Chicago decision changed the course of both franchises.
Yep.
Because if they have Bowen Byram right now, you're like, oh man, that's a building block.
Yep.
They've got Bowen Byram. Maybe they still have Seth Jones. Like you're looking at it like a little differently, and you got Kirby Dach at forward right now, and you're just like the Avs are just a different animal.
Yep.
An animal, just a different looking one. But with Byram and Makar next to each other, because of the way that they succeed and they do it differently, there were multiple shifts tonight where I've talked about how the modern day defense is about shutting down offense in the neutral zone. You slap pucks out of the from your blue line, you get them moving the other way. That's the big thing. And those two guys on multiple shifts tonight, St. Louis tried to get pucks in and they knocked pucks out of the air and moved them back at him. And you're like, what the hell? I am trying to jump and chase here. And those two guys just said no.
Don't even look at this final score of 4-3. Shots were 42-18 to end the night.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Don't need to remind you that they're playing Curtis McDermott, Jack Johnson on defense in this game.
Like no Mikko Rantanen up front.
Yeah. So,
And at times it feels like no Andre Burakovsky.
Yep. And Kadri sits half the game because the NHL decided that's the rules.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Brutal.
Look, we're already well over an hour, so final thoughts. Avs are 3-4 now. They have Minnesota Saturday. What you got for me, Blaze?
Bo Byram, Makar is the NHL's Bash Brothers.
I love it. A little more talented than that, perhaps, but
Yeah, but like, let's just say like personality-wise,
sure.
you choose who's who.
Makar's is the quiet one, and,
Yep.
and Bo talks all the shit. Got it.
Yep. There we
I
go.
really love this gift. So I
Yeah,
just
we'll
wanted
get
to
it in
show
a sec. AJ?
I mean, it's a really big game against Minnesota, who is another team
Yes.
rolling in,
Very
and
hot,
vibing.
yeah.
Like everything breaking Minnesota's way. They're playing great hockey. They're winning games comfortably. They're getting great goaltending. They're scoring lots of
Absolutely.
goals. They're having big years out of everybody.
Yeah.
Except for their
Until they're not.
rookie.
So we'll see. You know, I mean, it's a big challenge, but it's also like, what's the lineup? Is Mikko back? Is Girard back? Is Taves back? If you get all three of those guys back, you know, you're kind of looking at maybe the two best teams in the Central Division. You could have made that argument tonight coming in that the two best teams in the Central are St. Louis and Minnesota. But I'm sorry,
St.
I
Louis
don't care.
got handled,
I don't
yeah.
care what your record is.
Yeah.
You just got the living shit kicked out of you by Colorado's B+ team. It's hard. It's at 4-3. Like at 4-3 is deceiving.
Yep, it is.
because you didn't belong in that game even a little bit. So it's going to be interesting because like Minnesota's off to a great start here, and Colorado gave everybody a chance.
Yep.
With a 2-4 start, they were like somebody else ascend. We'll see, right? And now you got to wonder, like, if Colorado bullying St. Louis is it the beginning of something, or is it a
Did they
full
just
start?
load the shotgun and start walking through the wheat
It
field?
was, like straight up, like, is this a? Because if this is the beginning of an Avs run, like they gave you guys 6 solid games to get out and get what you could.
Yep.
I've
Because
watched a few.
if the boys are coming now, you're in a really big problem. You got a really big problem on your hands.
I've watched a few of those Minnesota games. They are a different club this year for sure.
Well, and they're playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
What happens when they get punched in the mouth?
Yeah.
Because we see teams get out to hot starts all the time in the NHL's regular season, especially at the start. It's not very physical. It's not rugged. It's very fast-paced. It's very loosey-goosey. Systems are all over the place. It's really easy to win high-scoring games early in the season when you're just vibing. Everything's great. You know, the world is just your pearl. And right now, that's Minnesota, and I'm curious to see. They're coming to Colorado on Saturday. I expect Colorado's home effort to be significantly better than it was against Vegas.
Yep.
The Vegas game served your first game back on a road trip is always a tough after a road trip, an
Proper
actual
road
one
trip, yeah.
is always one where they're not great. And it's almost serves as an additional road game because you're in another city. Even though it's like your city, it's another city, another game, a different building. It's like an additional road game almost. Now that they've had, they're not coming back off of a lengthy trip.
Right.
It's a one and done. They're going to be back in Denver. I feel like the effort will be a lot better than it was against Vegas.
All right. We're going to leave you off here with Jared Bednar trying to understand the rules of the NHL, as nobody really knows. You have to do some algebra. That's like calculus level math to try and figure out the penalties of this league at this point. I don't know. I don't understand. Shout out to Justin for putting this tweet
He's
together.
a great Twitter follow, by the way.
He is amazing. All right. That's going to do it. Look, the Avs take home the dub. It's all good in the hood for the moment. You can catch us live after every single game. You can also catch us on non-game days at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time every single weekday, including tomorrow. Well, are we going to go live tomorrow?
We'll decide after.
We might use our Saturday post game as our 5th pod of the week.
Yeah.
We'll see. We got some figuring out to do as we're onboarding our new people that you'll find out very soon about.
Like they all start Monday, and it's like, we should keep talking about it. Or? Whatever.
Gotta build the suspense. AJ.
I'm excited. 2 people I think are really going to bring some thunder to the Avs beat, and it's about to be raining content up in here.
You'll love to see it.
Anyway, appreciate all of y'all. Thank you all for hanging out. I knew there were a bunch of you tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. That helps us out a ton.
We love
really
you.
appreciate you. More post-game coverage. AJ's doing grades in a piece. I got a video coming later tonight. Check it out in the morning if you got to go to bed. I understand.
Shout out Skylar for being at the game tonight.
Let's go. Showed up. Avs got the dub. Other than that, we're out of here. We will catch you on the next one, whenever that may be. Have a great rest of y'all's Thursday.